Well, sorry about that. Was having a little trouble there with the music program. Maybe that's what's causing the troubles here with the stream. But anyway, welcome aboard. Yeah, folks, we've thrown a curveball at y'all. We were supposed to be headed to Mid-America today, but there's this little thunderstorm south of here in Charleston. Thought we ought to go investigating. Well, since we don't really have a C-130 to do a proper investigation, why don't we go in the ToLiss A319? And while we're at it, test out. Hey, we're in the 8th version, what is this? X-Plane 12, Beta 4. So, you know what? Let's give it a run for its money and let's head down into that storm. Oh, and by the way, it is tongue-in-cheek. We're heading to Hurricane Ian. About to make landfall there around anywhere from Fort Myers up to Tampa. Pretty big eye with it, so it's going to be a little long-lived when it comes ashore, but hopefully you all are doing well. Heeded the warnings and nowhere near the storm. Us, on the other hand, well, we're going to just have fun and fly in and try and land in it. We'll see how the weather dynamics of this new volumetric cloud system, I think that's just kind of smoke and mirrors. We're about to find out. The opening screen, by the way, folks, here, let me bring it up for those who may have missed it. Oh, looks like something's really hosed me up again. All right, hang on, folks. Oh, what causes this? I'd love to know. All right, well, you know what? I guess we're not going to go to that screen. That's fine. We're getting a lot of spinning wheels and all that good stuff when we're over here and it's locked up. So let me make sure we don't have a lot of stuff maybe running could be the problem. Who knows? It's the world of Twitch, and well, Twitch is twitching right now. Alright, so as long as I stay on this screen, I'm fine. So you know what? We're going to stay on this screen. We're not even going to worry about a proper pre-brief other than to say, folks, we're in the A319, sitting on the ramp Bravo 10 Charleston, and we're getting ready to fly off to Punta Gorda, Florida. A big hub for Allegiant, a lot of planes. You ever look up just the wiki site, you'll see the long line of aircraft. So they do quite a good business out of there. All right, so without further ado, folks, and I'm not going to risk any more over there. Let's get this on the road, shall we? Really would like to show you the route because it does look good in over here. So let me see. We'll give it one more try. Alright, so yeah, it's just not wanting to play all that nicely. Let's see if we can get it to pull up the sim toolkit. There it is. Alright, I'm not going to dare too much with this stuff today, folks. I don't know if it's ToLiss, because we've had actually good flights with ToLiss and this, or what. And we've also had OBS giving us nightmares with default aircraft. So I don't know which one is actually the culprit, if you shall. But we hope you enjoy, folks. That's the name of the game here. So, and I'm bringing up a program here because I'd like to at least see who's all with us. Even though I may not call you out by name, at least see what's in the background. Alright, so as you see, folks, Sim Toolkit's up and running. showing us that runway 3 was a proper choice. You can see the flight plan there right under the plane. Out to Gipple, to Cyntha, to Gainesville, to Lakeland, to Rogan, to runway 4. Now, down here, I don't know if it's going to let us see it, but you can see the hurricane. That green dot there is where we're headed, folks. Oh yeah, we're going right into the eye of the storm. Really, so to speak. Okay, real quick, let's run through it. This is a really neat tool. If you didn't see how I did that, folks, from Sim Toolkit, once you make your flight plan here by just simply clicking either from an existing sim brief, I think it is, then you come to this page. And folks, there is a wealth of knowledge just on this page, let alone the wind diagram with your runway down here, which cheesy at best, but you know, hey, they're the developers. They thought it necessary, so you know what? Hey, great job. Over here, some great information about our runways. Across the top, you can see we can get the METAR, the flight plan, the load sheet separately, or by clicking this clipboard-like icon, we get the summary in a really well thought out plan here. Got our airport information here for Charleston and Punta, as well as our flight plan here. I'm going, Captain, that's a lot different than what we're used to seeing out of you. And that is correct. I'm trying something out here. So this is useless in this format. And I don't mean that sim brief in a bad way. I just mean in a presentation in Sim Toolkit, it's hard. Okay, it just very hard to discern any information out of it, so we got to keep it, over either on a PDF or available that way. All right, so let's go up here. Here's the taxi. Does it even show where we're at? Oh yeah, we're right there. So we'll be going to runway 3, so we'll plan to push back. Hopefully nose will face south. Taxi over to this intersection to C, right onto the runway. Okay, nice that that's provided. Not all airports, but a far majority of them. Load sheet, boom. 113 brave men and women are going to fly along with Mike today. So we'll see how that goes. Why do I keep getting a response message? All right, I'm going to have to look into that. All right. 25,460 pounds of payload. There's our zero fuel. There's going to be our ramp after we throw the fuel on board. Speaking of fuel, 14,791 is what dispatch planned. However, like how I did that. However, maybe a however. All right, we're not going to get that. Great. There it is. We're actually going to load a little more fuel on. How about 14,820? Folks, we're not talking a lot of extra fuel here, but it's significant enough that we're loading it. Oh boy. All right, so it's going to be one of those days. All right, so we'll deal with that. That's my problem. You all get the hard job of just sitting back and relaxing. All right, so from here, what's the yellow here on this? Boy, this is just not going well at all. Okay, so my encoder is overloading. All right. Oh, so quickly. All right, we'll have to look into that after the stream, see if we can't find a better encoder. Hopefully not have to pay for it. Anyway, sorry for that, folks. So 14,820 pounds of fuel, 29 more pounds of fuel. Like I said, in the scheme of things, not bad. Cost index 80 and 38,000 is where we're headed up, folks. The other neat thing, sometimes we get an ATIS here, not here. So we got 020 at 9, and this is as of 15. So, like I said, really good information. All right, my apologies for that yawn, folks. I did not mean to do that in your ears. Oh, anyway, so let's go ahead and get rid of Sim Toolkit. Let's just get flying with Mike, shall we? Because it's getting rough here. Up into the office we'll go, and let's go. We got, I think it was 20 minutes to go on the clock. About 16. You know what? We've already been handed an aircraft powered up for the most part. All we got to do is a few things. Hang on. We'll get to that in a moment. Let's first make sure the plane's ready to go. So, parking brakes on. Speed brakes are down. Flaps are down or up. Engine mode is normal. Engine master switch is off. Throttles move, and they are fully aft, moving up to the middle. Landing gear lever down, 3 green, up to the top now. Let's see here. No smoking is on, and we'll make sure it's on 1. Okay, yeah, because I'm flying it. And we'll put the strobes on auto. Okay, now working up this side. Wipers are off both sides. Okay. Let's go ahead and turn ground control. Good test. Working our way up. Let's move this over. And boom. On bat. Still on bat. And we're on bat. So what that means is if we lose the engines or the APU, folks, generator wise, we can still get our navigation data through the ADR system. Okay, real quick fire checks. Okay, back down. We got our lights already set. Let's go ahead and put the seatbelt sign on. Emergency lights. Okay, everything lit up. Lit up. All lit up. All right. Okay, and fuel coming back down, all looks good. Oop, went a little too far there. 3 green. Brake fan and auto brakes are off. Nose wheel steering's on. Brake pressures look good. Real quick, engine oil. Good. We don't need to for the bleed. Hydraulics look good. And the doors. Oxygen looks good. Okay, let's unload that. All right. So let's get to loading the aircraft. Now, a couple of ways this can be done. Now, ToLiss has given us an actual new way to do this. We can come down here and we can select our ground comms, which is our make mechanic, put the chocks in, put the external power. Off there, 125, welcome aboard. Hope you're ready for some hurricane hunting. Here's how we're going to push back. We're going to push the nose, like I said, hopefully to the south by 40 degrees. We're not going to worry about the fuel. This is what's on board. Be careful with this, folks. What it's saying is, how much fuel do you want? Okay. Not what do you want the fuel to read when you're done, like we do on most aircraft. So be careful with this, because I put it in and ended up with, we'll say in this case, I'd have put 14,820 in. Well, I'm going to end up in like 31,000 something, 32,000. And that's because it's adding 2. So cargo, we'll show this in another area. Go ahead and load. And the de-ice. Okay, now over on the attendant button, got the cabin doors, and we can arm and cross-check. There's something we hear, but we never can make them do. Cool. And we can also load our passengers. All right. Now, we also still have the old way, and I still recommend that unless you're adding to it. And again, remember that caveat. You're adding to whatever your fuel on board is. So if you got a flight that says needs 20,000 pounds of fuel, be mindful you're only going to put 5,200 pounds on the plane. Convert it, folks, to kilos if you're in the kilo world. Okay, so there's our zero fuel weight. There is our zero fuel weight center of gravity. We need that later on. And then here's the fuel just boarded, and here's how it looks on the load and weight and balance. For the most part, this has not changed much. The big thing for the ToLiss, though, is, and we are about to do it, we're going to be a little late out of the gate, but not by much. It's wanting your sim brief ID, not your username, not the letters. There is actually a number for your account. That's what it's looking for. Not your password, just that ID. From there, boom, you're set. It doesn't need anything, and you can see you can do all your sounds and all from here. So that's really a good. This is going to be something you're about to see that you're like me going, holy crap. So that used to take forever to load can be done in 5-10 minutes now. Not as long as the real, and from what I understand, it's pretty close to the real world. But not being a real world commercial A319 pilot, folks, I can't confirm nor deny. All right, speaking of which, we've got 4 minutes to go on good old McDo. We're going to show a couple more little items off here. This is the tablet for the new ToLiss. Set on the av tab. We're all used to this. We all know each of these. You can put it on map. Ooh, look at that. It's going to show us the open topo map. That's what it's set for. So you get the streets and you can back it out. You know, we're used to this, folks. This is normal stuff, okay? However, there's the weight and balance. Look at that. It's giving you a nice summary. Some of these numbers, folks, if you want to set it up in SimBrief for your airplane, there you got them right there. Your empty weight. There is no max for the empty weight, by the way. Zero fuel weight and the max amount of fuel, the max amount of takeoff weight, and your max landing weight. If you all are familiar with updating SimBrief, those numbers should ring very true on you. Over here, of course, again, weight and balance graph, and then how we're loaded. 113, 200 pounds of cargo, 400 pounds of cargo in the back, and there's our fuel, and so forth. Coming soon, folks. But we'll have some fun, at least on the takeoff side. We are now down to 2 minutes, so let me pull my checklist up. That might take a while. All All right, just want to make sure. Where does, oh, way down here. Okay. Just seeing how we're doing. All right. So let's do it, shall we? I'm going to go ahead and bring it up in 2D just because it's easier. Okay, so we're going to clear that off. Okay, make sure your stuff's right. Yeah, I know. Some of you love those IAE engines. You know, I prefer CFM, but just because I think it's neat how it opens up in reverse, but overall, folks, there's really not much difference other than sound, and even the sounds aren't off to me by that much. Okay, I am gonna be honest with you folks. I have no idea. All right, so make sure your air neck. Now that's important if you want to fly, you know, as real as you can. That there is the latest and greatest out there, 2209, and the cycle. You can find out the dates, which I wish they'd put on here, but they don't, and I don't know if in the real bus they do. Over on SimBrief, a couple of places you can find it. However, we're going to start the plane up into this. We're now ready for this to align. So what we're going to do, we're going to just hit init request. Boom. And we're just going to wait. There, we have part of it. There's Charleston to Punta Gorda. Alternate is Fort Lauderdale, flight number 866. Lat, Lon, and cost index. Oh, they're blessing us with 105. Woo! Flight level 380. There's our temperature. There's our topo. Let's see how close they came on that. Hang on, I can find out. Since I used that squirrely version, topo is, where is it? 49.1. Ooh, not right. Things must have changed in the couple of hours since, so no biggie. All right, so perf date link, uplink, perfect, clear. Let's go ahead and align. GPS primary, boom, look, our gauges came alive and everything. That's what we expect. All right, so now we can do normal wind request. Now the thing I don't get is I go to the next phase and I click wind request and I don't get anything there. And I've already got winds there, so I'm just going to leave it, folks. Okay, so now we'll go to F plan. The plan's already there. Let me go ahead and switch it over. Pull it out so you guys can see it a little better. I'll raise it up here. So the flight plan was, here, let's put it in the chat so you all can see it as well. Gipple, Cinta, GNV, which I think is Gainesville. Could be wrong. I'm checking real quick. Yeah, Gainesville. And continuing on. There's Lakeland, Rogan, and then we're in. We don't have any of our runways or SIDs put in yet. From what, again, I've listened to a couple of real world streamers. That's how it's supposed to be, folks. We'll click F plan and we'll go to Charleston. I'm going to click departure. Runway 3. There's our just want to make sure LGR HD3. Yep. Gipple, correct. All right, and we're going to go ahead and insert. Okay, and then we're going to come down. Since it is a short flight, folks, let's go ahead and get that planned in. Arrival. Now, we're going to do the ILS to runway 4. There are no stars to help us out here. Just didn't want to come out for us today, folks. Sorry. You just check here. Overlay. Yeah, nothing. The closest we have puts us right into the heart of the storm. Now, I thought that might not be... Okay, first off, let's throw realism out the window. This airport is probably, while quote, quote, open, airlines say cancel, 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 cancel. So, in the overall scheme, could be closed, okay? Don't know. I haven't really looked at the NOTAMs. And yes, Hawker, I am one of those pilots. I don't even know if this in real world is open, folks. But the Luber and the Piker are not available for this. We're going to go ahead and run as we are. So all we have to do is first I want to check... Let me check my runway here. ILS 4. Okay, so we have... You know what? We're going to come in off of Roswell. Not Roswell. Oh my gosh. Fort Myers. Oh, Lord have mercy. And boom. Okay, so from Rogan, let's see how... I'm going to see how that looks on my map. RSW, otherwise known as Roswell. Did it again. Oh man, that's not boding well for the guy behind the mic. All right, so we're gonna go. That looks real good, and then we'll hook in. All right, so yeah, that works out perfect for a transition. All right, so let me push that in and close it. And get it up here, and we are now loaded. Perfect. Yeah, that'll be a nice sweeping turn. Oh yeah. Okay. So we'll go ahead and clear up that discontinuity. Insert. And now the flight plan. If I was to bring this out, switch from arc to plan, we should see no discontinuities. There's the end of our departure, back into the flight. What is SD? Oh, step down? Huh. I have no idea, folks. I have no idea what that one is. Interesting. I'll have to research that. Top of descent, Lal, Lakeland. Hang on, let me go back. Interesting. Rogan looks good. Look at that. There's our arrival, folks, right on track. Okay, no discontinuities. All right. So put that back. Let's go back to arc. I'm going to set it to 20 right now. Okay. All right, so now we'll do our rad nav. Make sure nothing's in here out of the ordinary. Looks good. Perf page. All right, now let's try something here. And we'll see. All right, there is Sky Vector. So there's what we have to look forward to, folks. I is very close to Punta Gorda right now. See what I mean by how big it is? Usually it's much smaller. Okay. And I'm not sure what the latest info is. I've heard it's still a major hurricane, but as it gets on to land, expect it to drop, hopefully quickly, hopefully, and hopefully things get back to normal quickly down there. So, all right, I want to go to another page. We're going to go to this performance page, and this, if I can, it's not letting me. All right, so it's 129,804. All right, so we got the aircraft in there. It's 129,804 is our expected gross. 28.7 is our center of gravity. We're going to go 1 on the flaps. Anti-ice off. Air conditioning is going to be on. You know, when I first set this up, folks, it actually did put the runway in there. But now it doesn't. It's 2,134 meters long. Translates, folks, I already cheated and checked. 7,000 foot long runway. It's dry here in Charleston, and the airport elevation is 46 feet. The QNH, wish I could get it to translate, but it doesn't as easily, so I leave it. Everything else is pretty close, and we hit calculate. These are the numbers. This site right here, folks, is actually pretty good. You can find it here at this link, he says cautiously. Man, it is just, did it even type in? Try it again. There we go. I don't know what happened, folks. Being real screwy, I know that. So, but that's what we're shooting for here, up here. Now, we could just put all that in right now, or let's do it another way. First off, let me not get ahead of myself. There we go. All right, let's go back up to the plugin, go to ToLiss, pull up our ICS screen. All right, so we're going 1. I am going to go ahead and flex the takeoff. These are the numbers we're looking for. Let's pull it back real quick. I got 127, 135, 137, which is not adding up over there, which is fine. Okay. Now let's see when we do a uplink here. Received. Look at this, folks. Done. Isn't that sweet? Now, what did we come up with? All right, so well, over here we were looking at a flex. Actually, it didn't flex. It went flaps 3 on us. Holy mackerel. All right, hang on a second. This is actually the worst I've ever had it come back. It's 3013. It's nowhere near QNH of that. Oh boy. All right, let me see if I can't get this to go. There it goes. All right. Well, make sure everything bounces back here. All right, let's get rid of the browser here. Okay. Checking one other source here. It's not going to let me. I'm trying to do this the easy way. 3012. Okay, that is close enough. So 1020. So let's do a temperature. Hang on a second here. Why is everything so slow? All right, let's just let it update. Okay, we're going to try this again. Still giving us this. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to work with what we got here, folks. So V1-127. 135. Now, one thing missing here that I would love to know. 137. Okay. All right, so I took this all off of here. I am going to check something here because it always seems to come up to this. Oh, our flex says 68. We'll go with that. Okay, let me get ToLiss out of here. Let me bring the browser back in. Oh, I know what happened. Maybe. Okay, we'll leave it as is. All right, so we are set to go. So we need to be trim 01, and we're ready for final checks and pushback, folks. Wow, usually goes a lot quicker than this. I don't know why things aren't meshing right here, and I'm not sure if it's. I'm not even going to even begin to speculate. So, all right, so we've got the McDo set ready to go. The only thing we need to do now is get in here to the middle. And I need to check. Good enough. All right, initial altitude. Runway 3, we're going to bank to Haley. Then on to LGRHD, and then on track to Gipple. Okay, we'll go on that page. All right, so everything's up here. Constraints. Okay, and finally, all right, we're having a lot of problems again. Hang on, folks. Good Lord. Sorry, a little disgust here that such bad performance. 3013. All right, let me go ahead and start up our ACARS. Oh, I hit the wrong con. Kind of getting a little frustrated at myself, folks. Sorry. Okay. Very frustrated at the system right now. All right, and really? Okay, let's try this now. Okay, I'm just getting online now. All right, so we're ready to finally push back. Let's get the APU on and get ready to go. All right, once we get flap open, which we just did, come up here, click Start. And our transponder, go ahead and put her all the way over. And APU's almost started and we're ready to go. There's a fail. APU bleed. All right, we are ready to disconnect everything. There comes the pushback. Now, I have been told, Hawker 125, let me know, Better Pushback does have something available now, folks. I just like ToLiss. It looks good. Yesterday, V1 had a good name for these. I forget what he called it, but that was... He's wanting to go to the tow bar one. He's got a good point. I'd love to know how to switch, how you guys do that. All right, folks, so everything's opened up or buttoned up. Brakes off. See how well I did on my predictions. Probably end up in the grass halfway to Mid-America Airport, but we'll see. But yeah, I'll load up Better Pushback here after this flight and we'll test it out, see how it looks. Well, so far so good. We're still on the ramp. I wonder if it's going to tell me to... Oh, not that one. Alright, I guess he's not going to talk to us, so, alright. Down the airplane goes. And the tug will go away. We'll see. Alright, that's all we get out of it. That's fine. Go to crank. Here we go. Let's crank them up. That's it, folks. Move it to crank. I'm sorry, move it to, what is it? Hang on, I'll get you the ignition start. Then move up that one, number 1, and we can watch it crank up. By the way, folks, everything is default. I have no add-on weather, no add-on sceneries. Only add-on I have is the airplane in front of me. Oh, and Squawk Box, or Xbox. Okay, with a veil, let's go ahead, head over here, crank up number 2. Now, I was told that is the PTU we're hearing, that little squealy-like type noise. It's not a squeal, but so pretty good realism there from as from what I've heard, again, Burton, T, welcome aboard. This is the ToLiss A319. They have the A319 and the A321 available. Flight factor, I'm not sure if their A320 is ready yet, but they are working on and there will be an updated version of it. So it's not just going to be taking X-Plane 11 to X-Plane 12. They're going to actually add some features in that I'll probably jump on it when I get word of it. All right, so both engines are up and running. Me talking, me missed a veil, but it looks like we're done, so good. Let's go after takeoff or after start. Okay, APU bleed can go. Well, let me make sure, folks. Hang on. Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh. And I do have all my settings dialed up, so for all I know, that could be the culprit too. Ortan T, thanks for the follow. We sure appreciate that. Hope you have a great hump day Wednesday as we roll on. Okay, bleeds off, spoilers. Oops, helps to click here to get down there. Not two, we need, come on, flaps. They did this to me last flight. Really finicky sometimes. You know, I just noticed my frequencies weren't right. Okay. Okay, now we're set up. All right, holy mackerel. Pitch. We said to up 1. Okay, you can see it right there, folks. Pitch trim is set to point up 1. Unload that for now. And we don't need our engine or wing ice at the moment, but we might need it when we get over there. APU's off. Double check. Probably easier to read from here. What is still? Doors. Armed. Okay, we're ready to go, folks. Quick check here. Auto brakes to max. Cabin. Up here. Do a quick. And back down to here for the takeoff config check, which is just to test that everything tested fine so that we can test out. Just kidding. All right, nose wheel taxi on. We're out of here. Runway turnoffs on. Elapsed time to run. And brakes. Flight controls. We'll do a flight check here real quick and then we'll get taxiing. I hate it when it does this. There it goes. Just make sure they center. Then the elevator. All the way down. All the way up. Again, centered. All the way down. All the way up. All the way left. And all the way right for the rudder. One thing on the flight factor that I really liked, folks. Over here, Here's your flight stick, folks. Here's your tiller, which is what you use to taxi with. Now, if you push this button, Flight Factor modeled this quite well. You could actually check your rudder without the airplane going all over the place while you taxi, or in my case, when you land. But anyway, it was there. It's not, if I may not be doing it right, but it's not working in ToLiss that way. So, but overall, before I go any further, folks, I like the ToLiss aircraft a lot. Flaps are just moved back to 1. Brakes off. Here we go. I really do like it. X-Plane 12, I'm still feeling my way through it, folks, and I'm going to put it that way. We're going to find out if I like the weather or not. The clouds, when you're on the ground, are dynamite. When you're in the air, they kind of leave something to be desired, in my opinion. I'm sure some are going to say, you're just being too harsh. Folks, I will give it this much. Okay, I am maybe on the hard side, but it is first generation, and I do take that into account. I flew a X-Plane 11 flight a couple days ago, and I really didn't see a need to change the clouds. Now, what I'd like to see is the weather improve. Now, I know many people say, well, you need active sky for that, one of those weather engines. Well, yes and no. What I watched yesterday, and I will say, folks, and you all know I'm pretty hard on bus fuss. Maybe some will even say I overdo it. Well, there's a lot of problems with bus fuss, simulation, as well as Microsoft itself. So a lot of my problem comes in with Microsoft. But I do still see problems. But what I saw yesterday could very easily get me over there. The weather was dynamite. That is one thing I look for in a sim, folks. So if you're not willing, pay attention to those little things. Like, hey folks, we fly in the air, right? Well, Austin paid attention to those dynamics very well. Very good job. But there's those things in the air called clouds that he's still working on. And this is the first generation of a new look to it. And I know this is a beta version of this sim. Took 10 updates for it to get that way in MustFuss. But I'm going to tell you, I was impressed yesterday with that run from Fort Lauderdale. I think he was going to Cuba. Very impressive. So, that all aside, let's get this girl in the air so we can get down and see what actually flying into the hurricane is like. Now, I don't know how close he got. I don't know any of that stuff. I was unfortunately at work, so I was in and out. But I appreciate, you don't even know how much I appreciate his screens for helping me out in these Airbus flights, because I actually really like these planes now. I used to hate them. But now that I have them, oh my God, I actually don't want to fly Boeing that much. So anyway, we're ready for takeoff. We are going to make a double check that ATC did not sneak up on us. I don't see them over here, and I'm kind of curious, are we going to run into them down in Florida? Okay, we're not dealing with approach. Nobody's up down here. And it looks like a pretty good run. So here we go, folks. Charleston area traffic, Allegiant 866 departing runway 3. Yeah, these clouds look really good to me, folks. We'll see. I wasn't impressed with what I did to make the thumbnails. Very much disappointed. So again, beta, again, first generation. I'm trying to keep that very strongly right now in my head after what I watched yesterday. Again, no add-on scenery, no orthos, no nothing. Scenery dials, I believe, are dialed up. Wow, nose gear, really. That or I just don't know how to text. All right, so here we go, folks. Lights on. Flex blue. $80 knots. Down on the stick a little bit. Here comes speed 1. Rotate it. Gear up. And let's go ahead.
Gear up.
Let auto do some work today.
V2.
Oh, I didn't set the speeds in Mac Air. Alright, well, sorry for that, folks. Speaking of Mac Air. Okay. Yeah, a little late, but I just wanted to make sure we were on with him. I'm going to get above. Okay. Climb set. Getting above the S speed. Let's go ahead and do it. Flaps up. Alright, so after takeoff, chrono start, throttles, okay, we already did that. Stick forward, we're up, nose wheel, lights, autopilot, and flaps retracted. Engine mode to normal, if I haven't done it already, and to normal. Alright, and get the radar. See if that works. Alright, radar, is that on? Okay, there's 5,000. Let me check my chart. Gonna go ahead and dial it up. Oop, so used to that. All right, going up. Do a managed climb up. I would really love to sit down one day with one of those real world guys and really go over this with a fine-tooth comb and learn. And just soak in. I mean, I do that on every stream with them. Just soak in what they'll get, you know, information I can get. radar, especially radar stuff. We got a little bit here showing up, but I don't think I'm running the radar right. And I'll be honest, I was a private pilot, folks. We didn't have things like radar. And storm scopes were starting to hit the aircraft back in the 80s. And if B1's listening, I'd stop the chuckling. And I think we had some, I know we had Loran C. I want to say there was a some nav. I can't think what it was called. RNAV's what I want to say, but that's not it. But anyway, yeah, I go way back, folks, back into the mid-80s when I flew. And all of these fancy-dancy stuff, now they had the INS up in the airliners and all, but folks, we didn't have GPS. We didn't have, we had the Loran, like I said. If I didn't say it right, it was Loran. I may not have said it right, but anyway, things like that we could have. I never had it. Not sure it would have helped me any. Just getting my lights off. All right, we're going to continue our climb out. All right, it's just not going to let me play. It's not going to let us play nicely outside. Keeps. Oh, these system problems. My problem, though, I should have had this brought up first, but it's no saying it would help us. Alright, not to say I'm going to be able to do this much. That's better out there. Alright, yeah.
18,000.
So now, what I was trying to show you folks, the clouds don't look too bad here. The higher up we get, the more it looks kind of wonky. We're going to find out what wonky really looks like. That looks good out in the distance, that higher wall of cloud. Now, there hasn't been an update that I know of to date. So we're about to find out and see what hurricanes look like in X-Plane 12 here in about 45 minutes or so. Let me hop in here. I heard it. It's on standard, good. And up here, we're going to kill the wing lights. The other thing I'm not sure, and again, I've never been on the A319s when they've been in at the airport I work at. The seatbelt sign doesn't have a 3-position switch, just 2. So that's kind of a bummer. Sorry, folks. We have our guy in doing the basement, finishing up the work he was doing before the basement guys came in to put the channel in the concrete. He was laying down, and the contractor below, not knowing, obviously, ran a nail in, you know, below him. You could hear the smack of the hammer or whatever tool he's using for it. It scared the dog, because I'm sure he felt the vibration. It's quite hilarious. I know, it doesn't take much to humor flying with Mike, but you know, on a day like this, I'll take whatever I can get. All right, so for you A319 captains, tell me what I'm doing with the weather here wrong. I would sure love to know. I know we probably need to be down maybe 2. Or, you know, knock on wood, it may not be modeled in the ToLiss. I know that. I got that one too, because it wasn't in the flight factor. So let's dial out 2. That would help. All right, so there, and then we'll come over here. I'm going to go ahead and turn on terrain over here. So you can see there's the coastline, folks, below us. And got some clouds at altitude. Let's take a look at them. All right, I mean, not great. I mean, what I could compare this to is active sky, and I can't compare. That's apples. That's not even apples and oranges, folks. That's like elephants and ants. Because you're taking a very superb weather engine designed around many major weather events going on that could. Like that screenshot. I mean, it was made really good hurricane I'll call it a generator in it. It's not, but a really good depiction of hurricanes in it. Really good with thunderstorms and really good with snowstorms. So to compare, even to compare Musfuss with active sky, unless you have active sky with it, we've got a different story. But without it, we're talking default, that you can't, folks. You just can't. It is just unbelievable, and hopefully, fingers crossed, Hi-Fi will bring active sky back to X-Plane in updates so that we get that phenomenal weather, because I'd like to get it back. Again, what I saw yesterday, and he was not using active sky. That was phenomenal. This system update 10. Microsoft really did themselves well towards my liking in getting the weather looking phenomenal. I like everything in X-Plane flight-wise. You know, little critiques here and there, mostly because it's payware. But so the critique is actually on that, not necessarily X-Plane. But overall, I mean, what I saw yesterday was dynamite with the weather. And I will say that, since I have been so critical of it for so many days, that was a really good update I watched. And there you go, get an idea. Looks like we're cruising along Savannah right now. Still trying to get our way up to 38,000 feet. So folks, I'm not going to be running music today because I have a feeling that'll, well, you know what? That might help out. So let me press on. I guess that's the best I'll be. What's going on with my mic? Oh, there we go. Alright, sorry about that, folks. Thought my mic locked up. Alright, I guess that'll be the best I can do with the radar. I don't know. Don't know enough about it, folks, to understand the whole, what to set it to and all. Alright, but you know, looking out here at the clouds, I mean, right now they look pleasant. I mean, I don't think they're anything to write home about, and this is what I saw in the initial stages of Plus, so maybe by beta 5 or 6 we'll be in better shape. I don't know, but I mean, it's better than, I won't say, I actually kind of like what I saw in the last flight with 11. So, you know, folks, to each their own. I'm just looking forward to seeing how well this will look with the hurricane. We got a ways to go. We won't be really getting into stuff until, oh, let's see. Currently, the hurricane actually may have gotten stronger. It looks like it's tightening up. Oh no, there's Punta Gorda. Still gonna. Punta Gorda is getting the worst of it from, say, Naples, Fort Myers, Punta Gorda. Y'all are gonna get the worst of it because you're on that northeastern. Actually, the northeastern flank is Punta Gorda over to Venice, but still, y'all got walloped. And Sarasota is next, followed by the Tampa area. So we'll get an idea of what it looked like. But like I said, my initial, and it's just strictly initial, folks. You saw it, I saw it, didn't look all that great. So we'll see once we round the corner and start pushing southward. How this looks. And for those of you flying, if you're trying to fly real-world hurricane hunting, I'd say you got about another hour or so at the most. When it makes landfall, you're done. So, till it reemerges, and I'm not 100% sure if it will reemerge. So, I know there's some charting that says it will. I also know there's some talk out there that it's very eerily reminiscent of Hurricane Charlie. So, it's almost taking the exact track that Charlie did. So, anyway, those of you around for Hurricane Charlie. All right, we've leveled off. We'll go ahead, let them out of their seats for now. And we'll pay close attention. I did not upload those. Okay. Okay, while we got the time, let's do a quick system check. Okay, everything's looking good. Oh, excuse me, folks. Electrical's all green, not showing any troubles. Hydraulic fluids and all look good. Fuel, 3810, 3870. Okay, we're going to go up and fix this. Alright, so you can see how this side is much lower than this side. First thing we're going to do is turn that crossfeed on. You can see it turning here, how it closed, opens the line between both the left side's fuel and the right side's fuel. Okay, that means the crossfeed's on, as you can see up here. Now, to get these to match, we're going to turn off the left side. We're going to be ready to turn them off at 3800, or when they equal. Okay, they're equal. Oh, no, they're not. Let's go ahead since we're doing it. There we go. All right, so now they're equal. Go ahead and turn the crossfeed off. So once the crossfeed's off, now the left fuel tanks are fueling the left engine. The right fuel tanks, likewise, fueling the right engine. Crossfeed on, they're doing both. And that's usually on for the center tanks, but you know, again, you can see how the center tanks could work that way too. Never actually had fuel in the center, so I'll be honest, that's as far as I want to take that. And then here's what we've used fuel-wise. Okay. Okay, that's the fuel. We'll click all again. APU is off. Better be showing off. Here's what the cabin looks like. We got 75 degrees in the forward part, 68 in the cockpit. Okay, so that gives you an idea. And of course, when you're in kilos, it shows it, I'm sorry, in metrics, it'll show you it in Celsius. Doors, yeah, they're armed and the slides are ready to go. But we're looking right here. This is the actual air tanks in the cockpit, so that if we have to put our masks on to do an emergency descent or whatever, boom, we have 1,850 pounds green, we're good. Wheels, covers closed, brakes are fine. And everything looks good here. Status, no messages, good. All puts us back. Do a recall, and there you go, folks. We are on our way. System check done. We'll plan another one in about, oh, I don't know, maybe before top of descent if I can remember. A lot of times I don't remember. All right, let's go put airports on here. To be honest, folks, terrain-wise, the only real feature is we'll have the coastline maybe over here. Overall, there isn't a lot of high country below us. So, but we're mustering at cruise, what was it? I forgot what they put us at, but we're getting close to 0.80, folks, so we're moving along here pretty well. crossing over I-10 below us. Those of you like me familiar with much of the road map system and have driven Florida quite a bit. I mean, I haven't driven it extensively, but I've driven enough of it to say I don't ever want to live there. So, and this is one really good reason why I don't. Hurricanes. Now, I'm going to get a little controversial with y'all as you all begin to ponder, why is this hurricane so strong and truly beginning to get into the back end of the season? Well, the front end of the season saw a lot of Sahara dust over the Atlantic and over the lower U.S., down by Florida, the Gulf Coast. There was a news story which you won't hear about, folks. I'll dig it up and put it up on my Discord channel, that if something like this happened, NASA planned to launch one of the rockets full of Sahara dust ahead of it. They suspect Sahara dust will limit the development. So we're again playing with the weather, and that's where Katrina came from. I bet we were doing some things to the weather thinking we could outfox good old weather, and well, the weather said, I don't think you can. You're not going to outfox God that well, folks. God set this world up just perfectly so that it will provide us. Pretty simple, folks. They know it in the science world, a degree or two, certain ways, there isn't life on this planet. All you gotta do is look at the others. So God set this up perfectly. And yeah, you want to play with it, better be ready to play the fiddler when time comes due. Katrina was a wake-up call, not to play with the weather. No, we don't learn. Much like the Israelites way back when in the desert. God got them out of Egypt, and then they complained, and God put a plague on them, and they said, please, they forgave, and God did, gave them more, and then they moved away from him, and then the cycle continues to this day. Except with us and the world. So anyway, just something for y'all to just put that little nugget in the back of your mind that yeah, they wanted to send up and put Sahara dust in these so they could dissipate them before they hit so hard. What they've done is procrastinated it to later in the year. Alright, so Gainesville is right up ahead. Okay, texturally wise, folks, so to be honest, I don't know when we would start seeing the actual hurricane clouds. But one could say, okay, it's cloudy. Good job. I, on the other hand, and again, it's so hard to get out, even when I look at Microsoft, to get that image of active sky. And the again, let me refresh you all that weren't here for the last stream. The last time I flew with Active Sky was a century of flight. Folks, that goes back to, I believe it came out 2002, 2003. And then FSX 2004, 5, or 6, somewhere like that. So in that 2002 to potentially 2006 time frame. And I will put by far a Century of Flight was a really good sim Microsoft put out. FSX, once you got a rig capable of running it, and it took generations for that to come out, it got okay, but the scenery just but Active Sky came in, folks, and I mean, there are sites you can go to find out how tall the clouds were. Now, back then, all it would tell you is, you know, up in this ish range. Today, they can get pretty, you know, they can get close on it, folks, real close. Well, Active Sky pulled that data in. And folks, if you were flying through thunderstorms and it wasn't a couple thousand feet below you, a couple thousand feet above you, you saw a nice cumulus tower head. No. All the way down. All the way up. Nice little anvil on the top. I mean, dynamite job. And I let it lapse. There's a lot of reasons going on back then for that. I feel nothing on hi-fi or anything like that. I just let it lapse. And I didn't feel like spending the mega money to get it back. So, again, because of things really going on. So, which we all have. Oh, do I miss that? And I really hope they do eventually come out with something for X-Plane 12. If not, we'll have to figure out, maybe with the weather, what to use. So, because I really do look at the weather. That's one of my big issues. So, but anyway, let's get back into flight. Enough of all of that good stuff. And let's get back into the flight, folks, because look what's up ahead, top of descent. So, we need to figure out a VREF. Well, how we do that here is very simple. First things we're going to do, step deleted. I'm going to do it on this one too. Alright. I know it's set up over there. We'll just continue to use this one. So we'll go to plan. We'll go to Earth. We're not going to click activate phase. I'll explain in a second why. The only time you really want to do that is once you've taken over speed. You're no longer allowing the system to manage it. Because what it'll do is it'll slow you up to whatever the F speed is. I'll show you what I mean. Okay, one more. This speed here. So you're going to drag from literally Gainesville, Florida, all the way to Punta Gorda, 140 knots. Just barely above stall. So, you just got to put in some data now. Now, I wish there was a way to pull it in right here, but there isn't. And if there is, please, folks, tell me. Otherwise, we go Sky Vector. Current weather, wind 090 with 38. Oh, man. Gusting to 65, 2.5 miles. Thunderstorms, rain, heavy rain, drizzle. How do you get heavy rain and drizzle at the same time? Interesting. I guess there's a way. I don't know. Broken 1800. So it's really, other than the wind, it's not bad. Oh man, overcast 2,300 feet. So, all right, QNH 2916. That's what we're gonna put in up here, folks. 29.16. Temperature. I forgot that already. 26. And the winds 090 at. It doesn't have an OMG. Oh wait, yeah, I could type it OMG. Okay. It's going, what in the heck are you doing here, man? Dispatch is yelling at me. Don't do it! Alright, for the ILS runway 4, we got 224 or 200. Let's go 200 AGL. Now, where do you put this? Okay, how I look at this gauge, folks, it's kind of crazy. I see M decision altitude, mean sea level decision altitude, which on your JEP chart you'll see in the bold numbers. DH or decision height you see in brackets. So I take the M to mean that. So I'm going decision. Why am I still getting that under destination? And we're going to be landing 122, 130. Okay. So we got that all programmed up. So we're going to come in planning no lower than 2,000 feet off of Fort Myers. All right. Time to put the seatbelt sign on, folks. It's going to start getting bumpy. Okay, we're seeing a little raising in clouds ahead. That's good. We'll see what it's like once we punch in. Top of descent now lying. "32 miles out." All right, so we're going to dial over 2,000. You know what? For safety, let's come down to 5 first. Then we'll work it down. I got a feeling we're going to end up in what's called an open descent, where I take it out of the managed. But give it a try. So I plan to, folks, yes. Right now we're going to plan a Cat 2 arrival. You would think it's illegal. Punta Gorda. Yeah, I don't think it is. So we need at least 3/4 of a mile. Everything came in fine. So right now, find out as we drift in. But again, thank you for being a part of the stream. We're in the ToLiss A319 under Allegiant colors. Allegiant's big airline. We're about to see what kind of weather generation. how well it meets in terms of how up to date they are. I'm going to tell you, I'll say it again, you're not hearing this much out of me. Yesterday, watching a couple of streams, SPEC'S really knocked it out of the park. So, I will give kudos to him because that was just, I'm looking at it and I'm like the guy streaming, holy mackerel, this is the big thing we look for in a sim, is the weather. Folks, you can make the best flight dynamics out there, and I don't think there's many out there better than X-Plane. I know SPEC'S is. But gotta have good weather too to help with those dynamics. Without it, it is what it is. All right, we're gonna go ahead and start our descent. Maybe. Get the dot and you're in a managed descent. Matter of fact, it will say it on whichever one you have perf. Now, I want you to look here. Okay, over on this nav display, this is the terrain radar. Okay, now you're seeing the coastline here. That eye is very close, which makes me wonder, did it get that part right? So, and before I get going too much further, I know I've stated what I think is critical and some things I've heard in the news, not heard, but saw before the season started in May, April, June, June. But let me say it now. But all I said earlier, it doesn't matter if NOAA is actually doing it or not. Folks, if you're living there on the coast right now and getting ready to go through, my prayers are with you. I hope all is well, and I look forward to seeing you on the other side of the hurricane and hearing your stories of going through it. It's not something I ever want to do. I've been through, and I'll tell you right now, I went through a tropical storm as a kid. We're in Charleston, and that's enough to tell me not to live on the coastline. That was just a tropical storm. Now, Hugo came a few years later and reiterated that I wasn't living there then. But I really hope and pray all is well with you. And stay safe. So I do want that out there. And folks, say prayers for it, folks, because from what I've heard, it might have hit Category 5. I don't know. I haven't looked. I know it was a Category 4. I know a lot of questions were around that. And folks, once you get above a 3, it's a mean storm. Storm surges can start getting into the teens, up into the 20s, which we saw last year with Louisiana. Oh my, folks, that just is devastating stuff. So that storm surge added to the wind is something I never want to witness it. So my prayers are deeply going out to you all, and I pray that you all stay safe so that we can hear from you. And I do have a couple of relatives in Tampa, so I pray they're doing well in this this as well. Okay, we're through 28,000. By the way, this is flight sim, folks. Do not attempt this in the real world. Fly into these things unless you're with hurricane hunters, just like tornadoes. Don't go out chasing them unless you know what you're doing. In a sim, I ain't hurting anybody. Don't do it in real life. It's not a good idea, folks. This will put you into ground in a Alright, so here we go. We're starting to hit some of the clouds. Let's see what they look like out the windows. Side. That's actually not too bad. Kind of a little cumulus look to it. Not the best, but hey, it's got some good, the textures could be worked on. I'm no artist. I just know what I see when I've been by them. I've been by the fair weather type and the mean weather type. For now, you know what? I am going to go ahead and cease the music. Come on. There we go. Alright, so we do not have any approaches up that I believe covering the Punta Gorda area. Alright, so we're on our own, folks. Let's see how it looks out the other way. Actually, that's not looking too bad. I mean, cloud-wise, that's not bad. Again, this is the first generation that I understand with X-Plane where they've actually put volume into the clouds, in the cloud art. And we're still beta. We're still pre-release version. Call it a beta. So, there's room that they could improve this. Alright, so we are going to need to take a look here. Right, okay. Alright, but again, folks, if you're any kind of a real-world pilot, especially Airbus, critique me. You're already getting the critique on the landing, but critique me. Because I'm about to go into an open descent, I think. 18,000 feet, 8 miles.
18,000 feet.
Alright, so in my little feeble pea-sized brain, folks, I would be saying we should be in the clouds now. Let's go ahead. Engine ice on. Okay, so what I've done is I've put on the anti-ice. Getting close to the numbers on it. Slowing up a little bit here. Seatbelt signs. Okay, I'm not liking the flickering here. All right, so
number 3.
all right, let's see if we get a D cell. If we don't, we'll make it. Make it. All right, so we got our final setup here. Here we go. We are getting into some clouds. That's what all this flickering, I guess, is. I'm not liking that too much. We had this with Chicago scenery at night. 240. Punch the lights on. All right, 10,000 feet, folks. Let's get an accurate
10,000 feet.
2916. Do this.
South Florida traffic, South 1147 re-entry. We're going to be doing localizer 4.6 South Florida. We're going to be on the island. That's not going to work real quick.
Two. get this, folks. It's saying I'm low on frames. I'm at 20. It's low. All right. Go ahead and
Southwest 1147 coming around runway 6. Then be entering the right traffic at runway 6.
okay, so we've got potentially, I don't know if this is supposed to be an eye or what.
Southbound traffic, American 715 is on a 3.5 mile off runway 24.
Okay, we're activating that. We're just dropping as quickly as we can. Get some flaps out to help. All right, we've reached 2,000, folks.
$2,500.
All right, so the clouds it really didn't like. Speak. Okay. All right, so we're just waiting on the localizer. All right, so we're getting ready to see what it's like. I'm so far a little disappointed, folks. Actually, really disappointed. The weather, this doesn't look like what I would assume, even by the depiction in the IFR. This is not the greatest. But I don't know if the sim is compensating, which that's kind of scary. Or not. All right, so we got localizer and glide slope. Okay. But I'm just keeping in the back of my mind again, folks. This is X-Plane 12 beta, and this is the first time they've put this volume in the clouds. So taking it that way. Alternate, just so people are curious, Fort Lauderdale. Okay, we're back in the soup. Punta Gorda traffic, Legion 866, intercepting the localizer for runway 3. Or is it 4? Correction, runway 4. Okay, we're going to slow now to 160. Go ahead and go flaps 2. Okay, that doesn't look too bad, folks. Okay, we'll get flaps to 3. Localizer is on. Yeah, I see we're getting a lot of messages about low frame rates. Okay. Disheartening. Okay, firming up on the localizer unit. Let's go into auto land. I haven't tried that, I don't think, in ToLiss, so let's see. This is a good time to try it out. Definitely very bumpy on the speed tape. Winds are all over the place. Gears coming down.
Gear down.
Gorda traffic, Legion 866, 6 mile final, gear down, runway 4. And for the runway, because this is not what I expected a mile and a half to look like. And we disconnected again.
2000.
And if we disconnect again, we'll reconnect on the ground, folks. Okay, got the runway in sight. Continue. Yeah, overall, I will say I'm not very pleased with the X-plane weather. First time chat from
1,000.
Silvarm SM1. You know, X-plane 12, still a good, you know, it's in beta, so I mean, there's gonna be days like this. ToLiss, really good, folks. I highly recommend buying it. And I do recommend X-plane 12 still. I mean, the scenery is out of this world, along with, I mean, they got work to do on the weather, but overall, it's not bad. Okay, runway. I think it's your call there,
500.
I went ahead and upgraded. I'm enjoying it, except for right now where it's killing my frame
400.
rates. But, you know, it is what it is. I mean, supposedly it's really bad weather
300.
here, so I'm not seeing the rain, which is kind of...
200.
I'll get you those in just a second, sir.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Holy crap. Really? I'll get that alarm in just a second, folks. Okay, well now that was a floater. I mean, the wet taxiway and all that looks awesome. I'll show you some things that are different with it for you. Let me get those specs for you. Put the flaps up in a moment. Give me a second, I gotta remember the command. Should have known something simple. Oh, we're off into the grass. Everything is just so slow right now, folks. All right, hang on a second here, folks. I think I can take this shortcut. Okay, now that's pretty good rain, but airborne, horrible. All right, let's try the wipers. When we get parked, I'll bring up my system or what my settings are at so y'all can see. I pretty much have them all the way up. I'm sure there's something or two where I can knock them down. Plus, looking at my stream, the fact I'm streaming may not be helping either. Oh, I'm off. It doesn't matter. All right. Cyberdyne Systems Corp, welcome in. Hope you're all having good, and ease up on the Terminators, will you? Do they even have jetways here? I think they do. I think that's St. Pete. You know what, we'll just take gate number 2. I will say the AI traffic is not as frisky as 11. That ain't saying much. But they will run you over. All right, folks, we're in the gate here. I know, that's why I said not as frisky, and that's because they have drivers in them. But anyway, no. I know you can put them in the other one. All right, give you a nice look out here. We're gonna go through the shutdown real quick. The system came up for you there eventually. Oh my bad on name. Sorry about that, folks. And with my system being the pain in the butt that it is what it is. So let's go ahead and get it shut down. APU's available, so we'll get the bleed air on. Get the lights retracted. Okay, with the bleed on, we can shut her. Whoop, no, we got to do one thing first. Rain radar off. Okay, and I meant to show, hang on, I know it's not going to be, oh, it is. Silvarm, one thing, the difference between 11 and 12 on the ToLiss is you get this nice menu to work from here. So you're not necessarily tied to the integrated system in the bot, but I still use it because it's still there. So you do get a few neat little new perks. You still get all of this. You do get with the FMC, you do get the ability to click and oh heck, I'll show it to you. A knit request. And what that'll do is if you have a sim brief generated over at SimBrief, a flight plan, when you click that, it's going to pull it in. It takes a couple seconds, but once it's filled in, you can go on and all of your fixes are in. All you got to do is like you would in the real world, put in your departure and arrivals, your runways. You'd have to also on your perf page, you can hit takeoff initialization. It'll pull all of that data in. Double check it. It may need to be tweaked, but got those features. I know ToLiss in X-Plane 11 didn't. Although I plan to fly it here soon, just to be safe in my thinking. All right, so data, aircraft system, back to that. All right. All right, so that's some of the neat new features here. I'm not going to connect up to VATSIM, folks. It'd be kind of silly, being that we're going to be shutting down and having to do it anyway, because to do the replays, if it'll let us, we have to be offline. Let me come off of, oh, let's first get these engines shut down. Shame, shame, shame. And we're going to use this. We'll go to the mechanic. Let's request external power and the chocks. Now, it doesn't have anything for the external power, but you can see chocks. Maybe as we progress through the betas, we'll get that. Hang on a second. Why is that not playing like I told it to? That's because it didn't take what I told it to. Oh well. We're not in Boston, folks. We're in Punta Gorda, Florida, in lee of the hurricane coming in. Let me do this. Give you an idea of where it's at. Actually, it's making landfall right now. So there's where it is right now, folks. And you can see it's starting to work in. Here's where we are, and here's the weather, if you're able to read that. Heavy thunderstorms. Dew point and temperature equal. Altimeter 289. Oh, 28. I'm sorry. I'm like, what? It went up? It dropped. We were 2916 coming in, folks, so it's dropped drastically here. Still 080 at 53, gusts to 78. So it's now hurricane strength here at the airport. And like I said, the eye is beginning to move on shore. So real quick before we get into the rewinding, let me get this out of here. Well, let me use this real quick. Hurricane simulation, you can see the route. Poor in X-Plane 12. What I saw yesterday in Musfuss, for default, remember the word default here. We're not talking active sky or pick your weather program. We're talking out of the box. What I saw in Microsoft yesterday was out of this world. Unbelievably really good. And I'm not a big Musfuss fan. I call it Musfuss for a reason. Although, rain-wise, I mean, they do a good job here, folks. I mean, nice wet ramp, as you said there. The puddles look phenomenal. But the clouds need a lot more. This is where I don't know how to express what I'm trying to say. So they just need a lot more work. And again, we're beta 4, version 1 of these volume, as he called it, if I remember right, and he being Austin, the guy behind X-Plane, volumetric clouds, volume-induced clouds. And I mean, they got a ways to go. But overall, this is not a bad rainy day looking scene. It's just not a rainy day hurricane scene. You know, it'd be nice, Austin, if you're listening. I know you're not. You ever played DCS? It'd be neat to see all of this blowing in the wind. The flag and all of that. It really would. That'd be cool. That would amaze me. But anyway. Wish list. I know he's not listening, folks. But you know, I mean, for a beta, for first attempt at this, not bad, folks. Not bad at all. Again, the ground, phenomenal. Iowa Scotsman, welcome in. The weather is currently broke. I didn't even know that. Well, there you have it, folks. If that's the what's coming from X-Plane, well, I mean, I got weather here. Let's see what the map says real quick. See if I can get it to the airport. No, not the airplane, dang it. Airport. There we go. Details. All right, so 2934, folks. I mean, they're really close. I don't know how far back in the METARs they are, because right now the latest weather I've got on SkyVector as of 1826, 20 minutes ago, roughly, folks. Barometric 2891. We landed 29:16. So they're a little behind, not much. 3/4 of a mile. Okay, X-plane doesn't really show that well. But winds gusting to 81. 56 sustained. We're no longer heavy thunderstorm, but okay, I'll take this in the METAR. Thunderstorm and drizzle. Okay, we'll take that. Because the eye is pretty close, folks. So that could be getting ready to come in why it's starting to become drizzle. But anyway, you know, overall, Iowa, it's not bad. They got a ways to go on it, and hopefully they get that weather engine back up and running. And we'll hope for another, well, no, let's not say that. Let's going to say hope for another hurricane we can go flying. Sorry, folks, that's not smart to say. So, anyway, folks, let's take a look at this flight, shall we? Shall we? He says cautiously. Very cautiously. Where is my ACARS program? There it is. Ooh, that's scary. I thought I lost all that data. We're still having system issues. As long as we can get stopped. No, I do not fly in Microsoft. Kind of gave it up when I came to X-Plane. So a lot of reasons. We're not going to get into them. You know what? Let me try this. Come on, system. Stop the flight. I lose it. I lose it. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it, folks. But what I am going to lose sleep over is why my OBS continues to do this. There it goes. Come on. Worked yesterday. Come on. Engines are off. Really wish I could get this ACARS program to work. Wow, it put a landing rate of 66 in here. I'd really like to move on, but if I won't. All right, well, we're going to move on. All right, let's pull up Sim Toolkit. He thought he would say. I mean, that looks good on the windshield, folks. All right, so Sim Toolkit. Put us in at 155. That's fine. We damn near ran off the runway again. We did that a long time ago. All right, so 107 knots, really slow. The wind was keeping us in the air, folks. All right. This will be fun. I'm already getting a good laugh, folks. Okay, we only got a 7,100 foot run, 7,200 foot long runway. Okay, legally, there's your touchdown point. That's the threshold. Hang on. I like to show this too. Here's the end of the landing zone. Not sure what Charlie, I think that is. That's where we taxied to the ramp. Hang on. Hang on. Hey, wait for it. Oop, I missed my green dot. There it is. You notice how close to the touchdown, which is about 1,000 feet from here, folks? Yeah, that'd have been a go around in the real world, folks. That was something in the autopilot not wanting to disengage, and I don't know why. But yeah, brakes worked great. We got stopped way before the end of the runway, and then we taxied back. So, as you can see, we ate up 4,500 feet of runway for the landing on a, again, 7,200 foot long runway. We are about 5 feet to the 6 feet to the right of the center line. So overall, folks, not a great landing. We landed way below the VREF of 122, but we still got 155 out of it. So, I mean, overall, not too bad. Hang on, let me try that again. All right, there we go. Did that program ever stop? No. All right, well, that's okay. All right, folks, well, we're not going to be able to rewind. So we're going to go ahead and call it here. With all the troubles we've been having here, that would be a prudent thing to just call the stream here. And I don't even know if it's opened up the sides yet. No, it has not. I know why. 2 reasons. Beacon's still on. Now that should start opening up the plane. Alright, so from Punta Gorda, from Hurricane Ian. The eye is right now coming in. Friends 008, welcome in. Thank you for coming aboard. Folks, I'd like to thank you for flying with Mike. We're doing a rather short one today, I realize. Mainly because, well, the flight sim is acting up too much with the simulator right now. I do want to, and I did promise, show you my graphics setup. So this is how I'm set up, folks. As you can tell, I got everything maxed. So I'm sure that's where a lot of my troubles are. I'm thinking this one right here could be pulled back to where it's in the 4s. Probably something else up here. This one I'm not sure about, so. I missed something. Oh well. So we're going to go ahead and end the stream here. I'm not even going to attempt to try to work with what's going on here. So you all have a great day. God bless you all, and we'll see you again tomorrow. If I do come on, folks, if you click follow, hang on, let me see what's going on. I see a lot of, oh, this is driving me batty. Nothing is just wanting to work right now. Since I don't have Microsoft Flight Sim, I can't tell you if this is worse or better. All I can tell you is right now I'm having a lot of system issues. So I am going to go ahead and sign off. Hope y'all have a great day, and hit that follow button, and we'll see you tomorrow.